Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityuktaha Sa Hasannaha Vanchitam Pratigrihyadam Vamanaya Mahim Datum Jagraha Jalabhajanam. Mahabali decided, there is no point in talking to this guest anymore. Every time he speaks more excellently than I can, and I get defeated mentally. I have the feeling that I have enough and I want to give. In giving, I find a delight, contentment. Maybe I am a greedy person so far as giving is concerned. But here I am facing a seeker who is not prepared to budge an inch from his original demand of 3 feet of earth from me. So let me accept my defeat, and I accept his glory. So he said, Ityuktaha sa hasannaha vanchidam pratigrihyadam. When the young ascetic celibate Vamana spoke to him in this manner, he decided that I will not argue with him anymore. Smilingly acknowledging the worth and the greatness of what he said, Vanchidam pratigrihyadam. Whatever you have asked for, please receive it. I am prepared to give. Vamanaya mahim dadum jagraha jalabhajanam. The ceremonial giving is not taking something and giving like this. There is a method of doing it. So it requires a jalapatra, a spoonful of water poured into the palm, and then chanting some mantra and say, I am giving it to you like this. If you want to give a cow, can you take the cow in your hand and put it on another's head? That's not possible. So there is a method of giving ceremonially. For that ceremonial offering, he took his jalapatra, the water pot. Who? Mahabali. Ityuktaha sahasannaha vanchidam pratigrihyadam vamanaya mahim dadum jagraha jalabhajanam. Vishnavekshmam pradasyantam ushana asureshwaram janam shchigirshidam vishnoho shishyam praha vidambaraha. Mind you, the occasion is the performance of Ashwamedha Yaga. There, the most important person to be present and to guide the whole events is Shukracharya. Shukracharya is the teacher, the guide, the preceptor of Mahabali. In his presence, the disciple Mahabali is doing all these things. So Shukracharya is seeing, and he has got a great insight not merely into the present and also into the future. Vishnavekshmam pradasyantam ushana asureshwaram. The Asureshwara, his disciple, is going to give something. He is not a small lad or an young ascetic celibate. He is actually Mahavishnu himself who has incarnated in this manner. Shukracharya was able to understand it. Janam shchigirshidam Vishnoh. He somehow had a peep and insight into what was going on. It was not a celibate that has come. It is Lord Hari himself who has come. And this conversation is going on between his disciple and Lord Hari. Lord Hari will not come there for no reason. He must have something behind him. It is a great, colossal mission. We may not be able to understand it, but there is a mission behind it. Otherwise, how could he appear at the time? So, seeing the behavior and the possible consequences, what Mahabali was going to do, he could not contain himself. As a loving preceptor, he wanted to tell his beloved disciple the consequences of his action. So he said, Shukra Uvacha, Esha Vairojano Sakshad Bhagavan Vishnuravyaya Kashyavat Aditer Jado Devanam Karya Sadhagaha. My dear boy, you understand. Esha Vairojano Sakshad Bhagavan Vishnuravyaya. He is the immortal Lord Bhagavan Mahavishnu himself who has come. Kashyapat Aditer Jado. He is actually born of Kashyapa and Aditi. Devanam Karya Sadhagaha. And the mission behind is to take away the whole of your possession and give back the heaven to Indra and the others. That is the purpose for which he has come. Don't think that it is a solitary instance. A brahmachari coming to you, engaging you in a conversation, and then taking 3 feet of earth and going away, leaving you to yourself. Nothing will be left. You also will not be left. So be very careful about it. एष वैरोचनो साक्षात् भगवान् विष्णुरव्ययः कश्यपाद् अदितेर्जातो देवानां कार्यसाधकः प्रतिश्रुतं त्वयैतस्मै यदानर्थम् अजानता न साधु मन्ये दैत्यानां महान् उपगतो नयः प्रतिश्रुतं त्वयैतस्मै यदनर्थमजानता. You have committed yourself to giving 3 feet of earth. This commitment you have made not knowing the danger that is going to befall you. There is a lot of anartha going to be. Na sadhu manye daityanam mahan upagato anayaha. You are not able to see what kind of a colossal calamity is going to befall the entire asura community by your promise, by your attempt, by your readiness to give. He is asking only for 3 feet. You think that it is something very small and trifling, but it is not so. Eshate sthanamaishwaryam shriyam tejo yashashrutam dasyatyachidya shakraya maya manavako harihi. Eshate sthanamaishwaryam. This little lad who has come with a leafy umbrella, with a sacred thread, a dwarf form, you know what he is going to do? He is going to rob you of all your prosperity, all your grace, gracefulness, all your brilliance, fame, learning, everything he is going to rob. Dasyatya achidya shakraya. And everything he will rob and give it to Indra. Maya manavako harihi. He is a seemingly dwarf person, but in reality, he is an illusory dwarf, and he has got a mischievous intention in his heart. The whole form is an illusory form. Don't think that it is real. He says that I have learned, I have heard, etc. Nothing. He is an illusory birth and an illusory creation. Tribhihi kramaihi imam lokan vishwakayah kramishyati sarvaswam vishnavedatva mudha vartishyase katham. Tribhihi kramaihi imam lokan vishwakayah kramishyati. Now he is appearing like a dwarf. In the same manner he appears like a dwarf. The moment you say, I am giving and I have given, this dwarf is going to become a universal dimension. He will simply grow vertically and horizontally, and he will envelop the whole of the universe. This is what is going to happen. Vishwakayah kramishyati imam lokan. All these worlds he is going to measure in the 3 feet. Sarvaswam vishnavedatva. Virtually having given everything that is belonging to you now, mudha vartishyate katham. Which will be the land left for you to place your feet on? There will be nothing left. Kramatogam padaigena dudiyena divam vibhoho khamcha kayena mahata tartiyasya kuto gadihi. Kramatogam padaigena. With 1 foot. Are you listening, my viewers? With 1 foot. I don't know how Shukracharya says all these things. What is going to happen? He clearly predicts here. Kramataha gam padaigena. Saying that I only want 3 feet measures of earth. He is going to measure the whole of this earth by 1 foot. Dvidiyena divam vibhoho. By the 2nd feet, he is going to measure the whole of Swarga, heaven. Khamcha kayena mahada. And so far as the space is concerned, he is going to spread himself, swell himself bodily, and the whole space will be covered. Tartiyasya kuto gadihi. For the 3rd feet, you will have nothing left with you. With the 2 itself, the whole of your possession will be covered. Nishtam te narake manye hyapradaduhu pradishrutam. Pradishrutasya yo nishaha pratipadayitum bhavan. Nishtam te narake manye hyapradaduhu pradishrutam. You have already promised, I will give you 3 feet of earth. And you will find 2 alone you will have, and nothing will be left. Now having said, I will give you 3, for the 3rd you have nothing to measure for. In that case, pradishrudasya yo anishaha pratipadayitum bhavan. not being able to fulfill the promise that you will give X and you are not able to fulfill it. Where will you live? I am seeing that. Nishtam te narake manye. You will have to go into the hell and live there eternally, endlessly. This is going to be your fate. What do you say about it? What do you say about it? See, I am reminded of the story, what? In Chitrakuda, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were there. That was the first lap of their forest exile mission. So they left Ayodhya, reached Chitrakuda, and they were staying there. That was the time Bharata had returned to the palace from his paternal uncle's home, palace. And he came to know what all tragic developments had took place. Ultimately, he, along with his mothers, the ministers, the citizenly chiefs, all of them decided to go to Chitrakuda. And Bharata would entreat Sri Rama to come back. This is what the plan was. So all of them went to Chitrakuda. First of all, Rama was told that Dasharatha, the father, had died. So he immediately performed the ceremonial details for the departed soul. And then both the brothers assembled, ready to talk to each other. The entire assembly was extremely anxious. It was a breathtaking discussion. Bharata started his conversation and Rama said, I will not return. I am not going into the detail now. Then there was a Jabala Maharshi there, and he started speaking to Rama in the most unparliamentary manner. He said, Rama, you are a fool. What are you saying? You speak about father, the words of the father. I must adhere to, conform to, etc. Which father? What father? The father and the mother had a conjugal dealings. It was all governed by their own emotions and appetite, etc. And children are born. There is nothing like a fidelity or a filial loyalty to be fostered. Everything is taking place because of passion and passionate indulgences. Only a fool will think of filial loyalty to the father. So it's all nonsense, nonsense. Better adopt the correct line of thinking and go back to Ayodhya, as Bharata is suggesting, and take over the kingdom, sit on the throne and rule. Rama virtually started crying, listening to the dissuading words of Jabala Maharshi. I am almost reminded of that episode. The Vatu came there seeking only 3 feet of land, and that too in response to Mahabali, who said, I am very happy you ask for whatever you want. He did not make any inquiry at all. Why you have come? So simply offered. And then after this conversation, when Mahabali was about to give, the preceptorly Shukra interferes and he speaks all these things. Let us see what Mahabali's response to it is. Shuka uvaja belireva grihapatihi kulacharyena bhashitaha tushnim bhutva kshanam rajan uvaja avahito gurum belirevam grihapatihi kulacharyena bhashitaha. When Mahabali was spoken to in this manner by his own Kulacharya, Tushnim bhutva kshanam rajan, he was stunned, almost stupefied. He was considering that he was going to do something very noble, great and exalted. And the whole picture changed before him when Shukra interferes and he speaks all these things. So he was wonderstruck, thunderstruck, stupefied. Tushnim bhutva kshanam rajan uvaja avahito gurum. Very reflectively, thoughtfully, introspectively, he spoke to the Acharya. You know, Hinduism is very great. I am sure that most of you, or maybe all of you, are yet to know the greatness of our dharma, the greatness of our legacy, the esteemed cultural refinement that we have been able to strike, evolve, perpetuate, bequeath and preserve till now. It is not something very simple. I would like you to know about it. So far it was a conversation a dialogue between Mahabali, the great giver, and the simple seeker, Vamana. Now it is going to be a conversation between not one stranger and another Chakravarti, Mahabali. Now it is going to be a conversation between two already known people. One is the preceptor, another is the disciple, and the disciple happens to be a Maharaja. So to be the preceptor of a Maharaja, what should be the dimension of Shukracharya? You can think about it. Now see this conversation. Beliruvacha. Satyam bhagavata proktam dharmoyam grihamedhinam artham kamam yashovritim yo na badhena karhijid. Satyam bhagavata proktam dharmoyam grihamedhinam. Whatever you have told me, I agree that it is the dharma, the ethical code for all kinds of householders, particularly the intelligent, the wise and the adorable householders. Satyam bhagavata proktam. He addresses Shukracharya as Bhagavan. So the godly advice that you have given me is absolutely true, and it is fitting in and harmonious with the life and the conduct of great householders. Artham kamam yasho vrittim yo na badhe takargijid. You have said this with a view to preserve my wealth, my possession, with a view to look after, fulfill my desires, and also preserve my fame and existence and sustenance. All these factors you have taken into account, and you have admonished me very, very well. Sachaham vittalobhena pratyachakshe katham dvijam pratishrutya dadamidi prahladihi kitavo yatha. So far as your advice is concerned, I don't question it. But if I have to pursue it, apply it, follow it, there are some considerations. I have got my status, I have got my identity, I have got my prestige, I have got my dharmic obligation. Let me speak about it. Sachaham vittalobhena pratyachakshe katham dvijam. Suppose I heed what you say with a view to preserve my wealth, preserve my possessions. With vittalobhena, because of the greed for whatever I have, my possessions. Pratyachakshe katham dvijam. How can I give him some other word? How can I change my promise to him? He already sought, and I have decided to give, and I have said I have given. You know, I have already taken the water, and ceremonially I want to offer it. At this point of time, pratishrutya dadamidi prahladihi kitavo yatha. Now suppose I say, I will not give you, then will I not be a deceiver? Deceiver. Cheat number one. Prahladihi. Understand that I belong to Prahlada's lineage. My grandfather Prahlada is noted for his devotional loyalty, his dharmic chastity. Now I will be defying all that and behaving like a cheat. Na hyasatyad paro adharma idi hovaja bhuriyam sarvam sodhumalam manye hrude alikaparam naram. Na hyasatyad paro adharma idi hovaja bhuriyam. Mother Earth has declared that na hyasatyad paro adharmaha. There is no adharma greater than untruthfulness, disloyalty. There is no greater adharma than disloyalty. This is what Earth has declared. And Earth is the one that sustains all of us. We are all Bhumi Putras, Bhumi Putris. We are all Bhumi's children. Being so, how can I indulge in untruthfulness? Sarvam sodhumalam manye hrude aligaparam naram. Earth says that I can tolerate and forbear everything, but I cannot tolerate and forbear a man given to untruth. Now this is what Mother Earth has said. Na hyasatyat paro adharmaha iti hovaja bhuriyam sarvam sodhumalam manye hrude alikaparam naram. I have told you earlier also, in 1947, when we became independent, we certainly had very good thinkers and loyalists in our country. They knew what our country was worth and what was the meaning, relevance and importance of our great legacy. So they chose a national motto, Satyameva Jayate. The motto that we have chosen is Satya alone wins in this world. Asatya has no place. Now see what Bhagavatam says in this episode. Vamana episode, Bhumi has declared that there is no adharma greater than untruthfulness. So Satya is the supreme dharma, untruthfulness is the supreme adharma. And earth can bear everything, but not the untruthful and the disloyal people. Naham bibhemi nirayad, nadhanyad asukharnavad, nastanachyavan mrityoho yatha viprapralambanad. Mahabali declares even before his teacher Shukracharya. You may wonder why this conversation. You know, a man who is given to truthfulness, honesty, integrity, accountability, fidelity, even when he is assailed from so many quarters, his will and resolve should only increase, enhance. He should never come down. When Rama decided to go to the forest for 14 years, everybody in the palace opposed him, including Vasishtha, including Lakshmana, including everyone. Every time when one opposed him, Rama's resolve only got more and more deep and intense. When you decide upon a straight course, so much of opposition will come. And when the opposition comes, don't budge an inch. Use it as an opportunity like hurdle race. That is what you should think about it as. Naham bibhemi nirayad. My respectable Acharya, I don't fear life in the hell. Naham bibhemi nirayad, nadhanyad, asukharnavad. I don't fear poverty. Poverty, I don't fear it. Asukharnavad, maybe there is an ocean of misery or affliction. That also I don't fear. Nasthanachyavanad mrityoh. I don't fear falling from a position of prestige. Mrityu, I don't fear death also. Yatha viprapralambanad. But I do fear deceiving a Brahmana, cheating a Brahmana, proving disloyal before him. That is the greatest fear I have. All the other things are different. All those are external things. When I have cheated a Brahmana, having cheated remains in my mind as an act, as a memory, as a haunting memory. Even if I cover my body with 10 bedsheets, close my eyes, and I am covered, enveloped by darkness, the thought that I have cheated will be all the more brilliant in my mind. So I cannot think of it at all, he says. This is the value of our nation, my dear souls. This is what you should teach your children. Do not fear hell. Do not fear poverty. Do not fear affliction or torment, ocean-like, of the measure of the ocean. And never fear, even if you have to fall from a particular level, don't fear death. But fear certainly to be cheating. You should not cheat anybody, deceive anybody. Deception and cheating, they become a scar in your heart and the mind. And whatever you have in your mind, that is the one to be inherited by the children. This you should remember. You are bequeathing money. The money or the property stands outside. They are not part of anybody's personality. You may have fixed deposits, lands, buildings, gold and other things. All of them are away from your body. But whatever you have culturally in your mind within the body, that is going to be part of your personality. If you are a cheat, quite possibly your son or grandson will also be a cheat. Understand it very well. What a beautiful statement. Naham bibhemi nirayad, nadhanyad, asukharnavad, nasthanachyavanad, mrityoho, yatha viprapralambanam. The Brahmana is supposed to be viprapralambhana. That viprapralambhana. A Brahmana is supposed to be an embodiment of austerity, discipline, refinement, cultural elegance. When such a person is cheated, I think it is greater than cheating anybody in this world, anything in this world. It is so very important, too colossal in its evil consequences. Be very careful about it. Srimad Bhagavata, I always say, is a Shastra. It is a scriptural composition. Because it is a scriptural composition, you will find any kind of a proposition or a pronouncement or a declaration made in the scripture will have to be sufficiently supported by reason, rationality. Now we are in the midst of a conversation now. Between whom? On the one hand, between Vamana and Mahabali. And interfering in the dialogue, when Mahabali was about to give what Vamana asked for, Mahabali's own preceptor Shukracharya suddenly stops him and he comes out with his vehement argument against what the Maharaja was meaning to do. Now this led to a conversation, and in the conversation Mahabali is after all a disciple, Shukracharya is the teacher. So the teacher's behest will have to be honored and fulfilled by the disciple. But Mahabali is neither in a mood nor in his sense of propriety to allow himself to do what Shukracharya says. So the dialogue presents before you a number of beautiful arguments. You should not consider them to be arguments. They are actually moral, ethical, philosophical, spiritual and yogic tenets. See what all he says. Yadyadhasyadi lokesmin samparetam dhanadigam tasya tyage nimittam kim viprastushyenna tenachid. Yadyadhasyadi lokesmin samparetam dhanadigam.